All right, Packers, this is just a very quick, hopefully review or maybe introduction on what is expected of you when the assignment says create a Google slide presentation. The main point here is the Google slide presentation is a way to either present or maybe just prepare to present to a group of people. And as you're putting together the Google slides, you always want to ask yourself, how will this make my audience feel? And if you don't like that sort of expectation, then it might be better for you to try a different type of presentation. So first and foremost, it's not an essay. So the idea of having a Google slide presentation is to create a different format. So if you just put a bunch of words on the screen, you're really missing the point. That's put a different way, the slides are guides. You shouldn't have all of your information up on the slides. You can see already I've been talking for 1 minute and 4 seconds, but there's just a few bullet points here. And then finally, movement helps. You'll notice that I didn't start with all 3 points up, that in fact I had some movement, both to give the audience a different view and also make it easier to follow my points. Finally, as you can see here, I break the rules, but that's because it has to do with an image where I put exactly what I want to say. Images are essential, but you need to explain them with a caption or verbally. This is a picture of a mom and baby kangaroo. This would be an example of a slide that has too much information. The reader isn't going to, or the audience member turns into a reader and isn't going to be listening to anything you say. Instead, they're used to reading and they'll just start reading it. But if that was the expectation, then we would just say, write an essay. Another thing, while I think it's really important to have images on almost every slide, the particular image and the way it's presented is really important. So here we have 2 sentences, or the same sentence twice. It says images and colors are cool, but not if it's too hard for the audience to see, read, or focus. Both of these are unhelpful sentences, at least in relation to this particular picture. The audience will get frustrated. They can't see exactly what it is. People will begin to raise their hand and say, I can't see this. And you're going to be distracted. They're going to be distracted, and it's not helpful. So use images and feel free to fill the whole slide, but make sure you're using the colors and images that complement each other. And then finally, this is a Google slide presentation, which means whether you're actually going to present to the class or whether you're just putting together a Google slide, you need to think about the people themselves. You're very familiar with TED Talks by now, and you know that a good TED Talk is going to include someone who's making good eye contact with the audience, who's maybe using their hands to express themselves, and probably even moving around the space a little bit. Eye contact is important. Having a clear, slow voice. I know that's one of my weaknesses. I certainly am rarely too quiet, but I oftentimes speak too quickly. It's hard for the audience to follow. And movement. Not so much movement that it's distracting, but enough movement that the audience doesn't think that you're some kind of robot. So with these basic expectations, hopefully you can put together a Google slide and a presentation that will be kind to your audience. Give the kind of Google slide presentation that you would like to sit through.